All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to put on our detective hats and crack a classic PMP exam mystery. One of those questions about procurement that really seems to trip people up. But don't you worry, by the end of this, you'll have this case completely solved. Let's get to it. So, here's our central puzzle. Picture this. You're the buyer. You've hired a subcontractor for something super important, and you need to keep a close eye on them with periodic performance reviews. The big question is, where in the whole project management universe does this actually happen? Nailing this is, absolutely crucial for the exam. So, let's break it down.
And here they are, our four main suspects. Each of these processes has its place, for sure, but only one of them is the right home for reviewing a seller's performance. Our job right now is to investigate each one and figure out which one it is.
Now the best way to solve a multiple-choice mystery like this is often by proving who's innocent first. We're going to use the good old process of elimination. We'll rule out the wrong answers one by one until only the truth is left standing. Okay, first up for questioning, we have planned procurement management. Let's pull this process into the interrogation room and see if its story actually holds up.
So, what this is really all about is the upfront strategy. It's all about the planning phase. This is where you're asking the big questions. Are we going to buy something? What exactly are we going to buy? And how are we going to do it? It's literally the blueprint for everything that comes later, not the actual doing part.
And boom, this right here shows the total mismatch. Our case is about managing a subcontractor who's already working with us, which means a contract is already in place. Planned procurement management happens way before any contracts are signed, so we can confidently say option D is not our guy. Case closed on that one.
Okay, one suspect cleared. Let's bring in the next one. Control scope. Now, I get it. On the surface, this sounds kind of plausible, right? We're controlling work, and that's part of the scope. But let's look a little closer at the evidence.
The official definition tells us this process is all about monitoring the project's scope, the work our team is doing to create the final thing, and making sure we don't get any scope creep. It's really an internal-facing process.
And there it is. That's the key distinction. Our buyer needs to review the seller's performance based on a contract. Control scope is about reviewing our project's work based on our scope baseline. They're definitely related, but they are not the same thing at all. The performance review is a contractual thing, not a scope management thing. So option C, you're cleared.
We're down to just two suspects. Next up is conduct procurements, and this is the one that really gets confused with the right answer all the time. Let's dig in and find out why it's innocent.
What's really important to see here is that the focus is all on selection. This process is the action of getting a seller on board. You're sending out RFPs, you're getting bids back, you're evaluating them, maybe you negotiate a bit, and finally, you award the contract. Think of it like the whole matchmaking phase.
See the difference? Our buyer needs ongoing oversight after the contract is signed and sealed. The conduct procurement process pretty much ends once that contract is awarded. It's a specific event, not a continuous management process. So it just can't be where we do periodic reviews. Another suspect cleared.
Well, we've investigated 3 suspects, we've checked their alibis, and we have definitively ruled them out. Our investigation has led us to one, and only one, logical conclusion. We found our answer.
And the correct process is, of course, B, control procurements. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the real work of actually managing a seller relationship happens.
Let's just look at the evidence here. The definition says it all, doesn't it? Managing procurement relationships and monitoring contract performance. I mean, come on. That is a perfect match for our buyer's need for strict oversight and performance reviews. This process was designed for exactly this situation. And if we break it down even further, we see the smoking gun. Right there, step 3, a key activity smack dab in the middle of control procurements is conduct performance reviews. This confirms it. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, we found our culprit. Mystery solved.
So we solved the case. But what's the big lesson here? What's the major takeaway from our whole investigation? Let's do a quick debrief and make sure this really sticks.
This little table right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. Seriously, just remember, plan is for deciding, conduct is for selecting, and control is for managing. If you can just remember the core function of each one, you can tell them apart every single time. And control scope, that's our outlier, right? It's focused on the project's own work, not the seller's contract.
And please remember this, on the PMP exam, and honestly, in real life too, being able to explain why something is the wrong choice is just as powerful as knowing the right one. It just shows a much deeper level of understanding.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you're facing a tricky problem, whether it's on the exam or in a project meeting, how are you going to apply this same investigative logic? Remember, to break it down, look at the evidence and eliminate the impossible. Because whatever is left, well, that's got to be the truth. Thanks for joining me.